Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm the Moon Mama. How are you all doing today? Tuesday is the day governed by Mars, and Mars is currently in Aries. It's at home in Aries, and it's going to be there for 6 months. Um, One of the things that I do here is my intention is to be able to help myself and you who are listening understand the energies and how to use them and how to make them practical. But first and foremost, understanding that we live in an energetic system. This is an energy-based system. It's all energy. It always has been. And we have been in some very dense energetic experiences for, the last 500 years or so. And it's a dense energy. Just imagine trying to walk through a dense forest where the trees are very tight together and the ground covering is very thick. And you can't see what's really in front of you because you are in this very dense energy. So we've been in a dense energetic system. And that's why my work is often around healing, where I talk about healing, because Pluto has been moving through Capricorn for the last decade. And Pluto is the destroyer, and Capricorn is our systems and our structures. And really, it just means that the energy is changing. And so I'm here to talk about how we can shift the energy from how we have perceived it, how we behaved in it prior, to how we can begin to move into it in a new way. And following the planets will help us do that. Following the moon will help us do that. And so Mars is in Aries, and Mars is home in Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries. Aries is the warrior, the archetype of the warrior. And, in Western culture, we think that means war, but that doesn't mean war. That means a beginning is what it is. And when I say why it's a warrior energy is because if you have ever had to do something that you've never done before, you need a lot of energy to move the inertia, to get the momentum started. And like I said, we're in a beginning. Aries means that we're at the beginning again. So Mars there means that we have the energy to get something new started. So this is a great time to start a new business, to start a new relationship, to, to do things that you've not done before. And we're going to have Mars here in Aries for 6 months. So this energy is infantile, it's a primordial energy, it's a powerful energy. And so if you're not going to use it, it will use you. And that's why we will begin to see people becoming more frustrated and anger and rage, and people having more fights and a lot of irrational behavior, and people blaming others and making others responsible for the things they're doing, because the energy has to be directed. If it is not directed, it will drag you. I was reading yesterday somewhere that they were saying that over the weekend there was more gun violence in New York City than there had been in whatever, but in a certain amount of time. But that's because Mars is in Aries, and people who are not focusing and are not aware of who they are and how they are and what they're feeling will believe that somebody is doing something to you. That's just how this energy works. And so it creates this warring faction inside of yourself. And then and it's a very baby, infantile energy. And if you think about babies and who they are, they're not thinking about what they're doing. That's why if you have a child, an infant, a 1 or 2 year old, you have to follow them around and make sure they, are learning and explain things to them, because their infant energy is just curious and risk. It'll take risk. It doesn't understand. It doesn't mentally comprehend what's happening. So that's why we parent our children and teach them, because left to their own devices, they will do something harmful to themselves. And Mercury is still retrograde in Cancer. We are also still in an eclipse window. This eclipse will happen on July 4th in Capricorn. So the energy right now is really fluid and uncertain, and we are in this space where we don't know, and we can't tell, and we don't see, and there's just not a lot of clarity. And so this gives you the opportunity to be able to make peace. Like, can you make peace with the uncertainty? And I know it's really challenging not to know, but can you give yourself permission to be in the moment that you're in, right here, right now? This is what I do, right? I'll say, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to bring my energy. A girlfriend of mine taught me, bring your energy to the bottom of your feet. I can feel the bottom of my feet. I can feel my knees. I can feel my elbows. I can feel my ears. I can feel the breath. And then that just gets you present, right? And in this moment, do you need anything? Like, once you get present, just ask yourself, like, realistically, not in your mind, not do you need somebody to be different, because this is the problem. We think we need people to be different for us to be happy. That never works. It doesn't work like that. So you bring yourself present, and then you say, do I need anything? And you check in your body. Do I need anything? And what comes up, you know? So I don't feel like I need anything in this moment, but I'm aware of how good it felt just to bring myself to my own presence and meet myself inside of myself. And that is a practice. That is a gift that you give to yourself so that you can become really responsible. So you can breathe in and discover, like, oh, I actually need food. Or I need to take a nap, you know, or I need to go outside and feel the sun. I need to call somebody and have a conversation. I need to give myself some love, right? And that's how you care for yourself. And that brings us to the Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, because Cancer is also a primordial energy, pre-verbal, where your needs are up. And we are with with Mercury in Cancer and Mars in Aries, it's like we're in this very new, vulnerable, uncertain place where we are here. We're just here. This is not complicated or technical or anything. We're just here. And all we can do is feel what we're feeling and then meet our own needs and not make anyone responsible for it. One of the things it's very significant to understand is that, you know, whatever needs your parents didn't meet in your childhood, that is still your responsibility to meet those needs. No one else is coming to meet those needs for you. So for me, my parents didn't parent me, so I'm parenting myself. My parents didn't give me the physical connection and touch and sustained energetic connection I needed to calm my nervous system down. So I give that to myself. I don't make anybody else responsible for that. When I have emotions that I need to express, I find ways to meet them. I'm able to identify what's going on inside of me and not make anybody else responsible for that. And then I can actually invite people, if I need to participate with me if they're willing to, but not because I insist and not because I manipulate. That's the thing that comes up in Cancer. We can become manipulative, like trying to get our needs met. We can become, it's this experience of not even knowing exactly what it is you need. So then that means you have to be really present to yourself, really curious about what's going on within you. And that takes time, that takes devotion to yourself. And that takes, being willing to secure yourself in ways that will actually be soothing. And so we're in this very new experience, and it's uncertain, it's unclear, we don't know, and all is well. And at the same time, all is well. Whew. The moon is in Scorpio today, and the moon in Scorpio is a very deep sexual energy. It can also bring up a great deal of fear. So you might be experiencing fear today, and just allow yourself to feel it. Don't make it be about anybody else. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? I know for me, Scorpio is our sexual energy. I am deeply afraid of intimacy, deeply afraid of being able to sustain intimacy. And the beautiful thing is that I understand why, because of my parenting, because of the way I was parented. And so I'm not creating a story that's like, oh, you know, there's this man in my life and he's afraid to be present with me. I know that every man in my life, every person in my life is a reflection of me. So if I have a man in my life who's not able to be intimate in the way that I want to, I'm asking myself, how am I creating this? Because I know that I am creating my reality because of the energy. This is an energy-based system. We are creating our realities through the energy, through the stories we tell ourselves, through the things we believe, through our psyches, through, sort of like a friend of mine and I were having this in this seminar the other day, and they were saying the unspeakable truths. Like we have these deep unspeakable truths, like we're afraid that someone's going to abandon us. We're afraid that we're going to be harmed in certain ways. And those are belief systems that then we invite into our lives. And so that's why we've got to be able to speak our truths, to at least to ourselves or to one other person, to feel, to touch the shame, to touch the guilt, to touch those areas within ourselves. Because if we don't, they just run us in ways that are not happy or joyful or sweet. And so give yourself permission to feel what you feel on a deep level and journal about it, or if you have someone you can talk about it or do artwork or sing or dance and move your body and just get the energy moving, because that will help you get free. And if you haven't joined the Mercury Retrograde course, we're going to be doing a community lacing tomorrow with Kenya K. Stevens. So I encourage you to join the Mercury Retrograde course today. Do the rituals. We have rituals to help us clear out patterns, clear out abandonment issues, clearing out those old childhood patterns and stories, helping you understand who your family was, how your family conditioned you to be who you are, so we can move that stuff out. And as we do the work, we heal. That's how we heal. So with that, I am the Moon Mama. Thank you all who've joined the Venus class. Thank you all who've signed up to get natal chart readings, relationship readings, not relationship readings, but love compatibility readings. Thank you to everyone who's donated money. I'm very appreciative. And thank you for bearing with me as Mercury's in retrograde in Cancer, because I just feel turned around. I feel like everything I'm saying doesn't make any sense at all. So thank you all for continue to be here. And I would love for you to share with me, I'm feeling an up level in my life. What's the new thing you're willing to do? What are you willing to do new that you've not done to help yourself in your journey? Are you willing to take on a new thought, a new way of being, a new practice, or something that will help you heal and transform? Okay, peace and blessings, everyone. I love you. I'm the Moon Mama. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.